Okay, in this video we're going to talk a little bit about tuning and look at how to use the tuner that's built into this course. Okay, so to use the tuner, I'm going to go ahead and just click on the picture of the tuner. And that's going to go to this website, Online Tuner. And this is a Flash application, so you need to have Flash installed on your computer. And I'm going to select Allow. And you can see it's lighting up and active and bouncing around. Okay, that tells me it's working. Okay, so when we tune the guitar, you want to tune your guitar before you start playing. This is the first thing you do. Sit down, get comfortable, make sure you're in a comfortable position, and then tune your guitar. Also, when you're done playing, it's good to tune the guitar as well, because as your guitar sits in its case, it's going to want to always, its strings are going to want to, live where they rest. So if you tune it up before you put it away, then when you pull your guitar out again, it's going to be much closer to being in tune than when you left it, if you just put it back in the case without doing that. So good practice before and after. Okay, so let's start tuning the guitar. When I tune my guitar, I'm going to start with the lowest string and then tune it all the way up to the highest. Okay, so with this tuner, I'm going to start just by playing the string. And right now I can see that my guitar is not in tune. How do I know that? Well, firstly, I want to make sure that this center area is tuned to the string of E. And I can see over here in this diagram, you can see that this is a thicker string, so that's my low E string, going all the way up. And I want to be in standard tuning. And so the name of this string is an E. That's the note that I want to get. Now I can also see this slider down here. And if I click the string again, you can see that it's going to land below the E. To get my string to an E, I'm going to need to increase the string tension, and so that means I'm going to need to turn the tuning peg here. Now when I turn the pegs, you want to turn them slowly, and as a rule of thumb, you want to just turn them no more than a quarter turn at a time. So let's start with that. My string, quarter turn, stop. Still have a ways to go. Quarter turn, stop, play the note, quarter turn, stop. Okay, now you can see that E is displayed in the center. So that means I'm close. Now I'm going to use the needle and the lights here to get it right up to 0 or as close to 0 as possible, so that this changes color and turns green. Now when I get to this point, I'm not going to use the quarter turn rule of thumb. In fact, you're going to be turning it just a smidgen. And that's because we're very close. This is the fine-tuning part of tuning guitar. Now you're just making very small adjustments. The other thing to remember is your string is still stretching out. So once you make a brief turn, you want to pause for a minute, play the string again, and see where it lands, because it's going to sort of settle into an area. So if you're constantly turning it all the time to try to get it to where it needs to be, you're never going to get it in tune, and you're going to be very frustrated. So always play the note, turn, pause and listen. Pause and listen. Little turn. Now here you can see in the tuning it's starting to turn green, but the yellow light right here will light up. And I want to remove that yellow light, so it's a little bit flat still. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so it says E and E, and this is right up about 0. Okay, let's do the next string, the A string. Okay, I'm very flat. You can see I need to go from here to there. So I'm going to increase the string tension. Okay, now I'm close. Going to do fine moves. Now this will happen sometimes. I turned it a little bit and then it went sharp. Sharp is when the string is too much tension on it. You can see it, then it lights up on this side. So I got to back it off just a touch. Now you can also see when I play it, sometimes it starts a little sharp but then goes back right to where it needs to be. And so again, you don't need to necessarily turn it all the time. You want to just make sure it stays, it lands on the green and kind of sticks there. It might not start there, but if it ends up there, you're in the ballpark. This string is being difficult. So one of the things about guitars is they all respond a little bit differently. Okay, that's pretty good. So once you get used to your guitar and you understand how it responds to tuning, it'll be easier. But the first time it might be difficult because you're still learning about your instrument. Okay, let's do the D string. Pause. Listen, turn, pause. Okay, now I'm close. You want to be very careful to not over-tune or make the string too tight either. So as I get close here, I'm making very small adjustments. That looks pretty good. Yep. Now the reason you want to be careful of over-tuning it, because you actually stretch your string out too taut, and then it doesn't really, has a hard time tuning after that. So you want to make sure you don't ever really over-crank it. Okay, we'll do G. It's the third string. That's good. And B. Back it off a touch. That's pretty good. And high E, first string. And there you have it. Okay, let's review a couple of things we learned today. First off, tune your guitar before you start playing and after you start playing so that your guitar stays in tune and is easy to tune so you can spend more time playing, having fun. Secondly, when you tune, make very small turns and adjustments and then wait. Turn and listen and wait because your string is going to come back to rest. And lastly, when you tune, listen for what the notes sound like. Start training your ear. Your brain and your ear will remember what a guitar in tune is supposed to sound like and what these pitches are. And that'll make it much easier to tune as well in the future because you can start to use your ears. Okay, good luck.